Hi, this is Angelle Batten of AngelleBatten.com, and I am here with Chef Jackie White of Prep Like a Chef. We're talking real food real fast. So Chef Jackie is a baker too, right?
Yep, pastry chef.
Pastry chef, the formal term. So let's talk a little sugar. So I'm actually doing 10 days with no added sugar for the Fed Up Challenge. So this is a tough video for me to do, Jackie. But let's talk about sugar. So as a baker, talk about some of your favorite sugars that you use, because you focus on like more real food, you know, cooking a lot, at least at home.
My favorite sugar to use is maple syrup.
Okay.
I will use this when you need sugar in a salad dressing or in a marinade or as a glaze or muffins, something of that nature, because it's going to add moisture at the same time.
Okay.
But if I'm doing, what do you got here? If I'm doing cookies, I'll use sucanat or a combo of sucanat and coconut palm sugar. So sometimes when you see this sugar, if you buy it, it will be called coconut sugar or palm sugar, not both. So this has a low glycemic index, so that's why people prefer this. It doesn't taste as much like sugar as the other sugars.
Right.
Sucanat tastes like brown sugar, and what it is real brown sugar. It's sugar that hasn't been bleached. The minerals haven't been removed.
Right.
So this is just dehydrated sugar, like people who buy dehydrated salt. This is
brown sugar is really white sugar that coloring has been added back into.
So they spray it with molasses. So that's why brown sugar is kind of
you don't have all the minerals. But I mean, the bottom line is sugar is sugar. So even with these sugars, we don't want to go overboard.
You don't want to go overboard. I like honey too. I like the taste of honey, but I just find like the flow of maple syrup, if I need a liquid sugar, is so much easier, and I have less waste than trying to get the honey out.
Okay.
And I like the flavor. And then stevia these are drops. So like for coffee or to add to drinks.
Like smoothies or
lemonade.
Hot chocolate, lemonade. So what about...
I do not bake with stevia, even the powdered kind, because to make it a powder, they have to add something to bulk it up.
Okay.
So I don't...
You don't use that.
I don't
even
use
go
it.
there. So what about, can you convert a recipe from like a liquid sweetener like maple syrup to like palm sugar? Like are they just completely different?
What type of recipe?
Like a cookie or muffin or anything like that?
So liquid batters that are more liquid, I just 1-to-1, or I usually actually just half the sugar and see if I like it and start there and see how low I can go.
That's a great thing for us to mention, that whenever you have a recipe, you know, just try to use as little sugar as you can get away with.
So what does sugar do? Sugar is a humectant, which means it draws moisture to itself.
Okay.
So cakes and muffins and that style food without sugar tend to be dry. So the lower the sugar, the drier the product.
Okay.
So in order to boost my moisture back up, I'll use a liquid sugar, half it, and the other half I would use like a Greek yogurt.
Really?
Because the sour will make that sugar taste sweeter.
Okay, okay, I see Michelle, our camera friend over there, is like, what? That's what I'm thinking. So the yogurt makes the sugar taste sweeter.
Right, because you have that contrast of flavors. At least it does for me, and I can half it. I start at half. And then like, I think, is it called Carson's cookie? What do we call that?
The Carson's cookie.
The Carson's cookies are made with the sucanat, and we added a little bit of maple syrup to that, because we were finding they were dry and crumbly because there's so little sugar compared to the rest of the cookie, and there's no flour, it's all oats. So if you're finding that things are dry when you make them, the liquid sugar, just a tablespoon. I mean, you don't need to add like a quarter cup, just a tablespoon, because that's a 9-cup recipe, and we only have a tablespoon of this in it.
We'll have to post the Carson's cookie recipe with
to keep it soft.
All right, and really quickly, do you ever use applesauce as a sweetener when you're baking?
I do, but I don't use it exclusively unless, it depends what I'm making, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like there's some things that you could go so low on sugar. Like I would use applesauce as my sweetener in oatmeal in the morning instead of any sweetener.
Got it. All right. I love talking with you. Every single time I learn something. Thanks, Chef Jackie.